Hey Aries, you're next. We just did the Leo reading. It is late. It's 11:34 on the 23rd. Yay, Friday. So, I don't know if that might be something you're interested in, Aries. Sun, Moon, Rising. Um, your XCM, aka Midheaven Conscious. If it's in those, because I'm focusing on the Sun, Moon, Rising, or the Midheaven Conscious. I'm the creator of the Midheaven Subconscious. So, if you want to know yours, you can book me and I'll let you know based off your elements. I do not expose how to find that because that is for me to know, because a lot of people are stealers. I actually am starting to see it. Y'all are funny. What God has for me is for me. Okay. Take it how it resonates. No shade, but it is what it is. I ain't blind. But anyway, what up, Aries? The house that cares about how people look at them and then flip reciprocal if you don't care. You still have some kind of attribute to it. Okay? What up? So we're gonna get into your tarot. I'm gonna go ahead and get into it. But yes, I'm the creator of the Midheaven Subconscious. Simple. Only I know how to find it. So, therefore, you should ask me. No other person should be acting like they did it. I'm gonna get you. Don't care who you are either. Okay, I'm reloaded. What's up with you? And this is the crazy part. I have my degree in criminal justice, the science of, and basically, I use science to get that far. So if you'd like to know, again, you can book your appointment, and yes, it's gonna cost you. It's not free. Sorry, lo siento por eso. Su pago mía por el servicio. Muchas gracias. Sorry. It's not free. No. At least you get this. So I guess if you want to know that, be my guest. Okay. We're going to get right into your tarot. Don't waste any time. Let's get you out on deck. Well, first, what sign are you dealing with? Like, who could be possibly... And then all the cards and stuff that I use, these are scholarly oriented. I went to Quizlet.com/astrology to help me write down notes or note cards. These are just my stickers, so I put them up there. So Aquarius, you might have that in your chart. Like, I'm a rising Aquarius, even though I'm a Sagittarius. That kind of attribute. Okay, and Cancer. And then you're right at the bottom. That's ironic. But yeah, here you go. That might be in your chart, or you're dealing with individuals in that light. I don't know. take it how it resonates. And they're both in reverse. Okay, you got the Four of Swords, the what? Eight of Swords, and the three. No, I'm sorry. Five of Cups, Five of Chalice, technically. I don't know. This right here is something else. Okay. Let's get, okay. Let's do the note card for the House of the Aquarius. The Cancer. Thank you. So Aries, first house, house of self. Any planets in this house will greatly be influenced through a person's personality. Comedy for healing. Neutral, very neutral. First impressions matter. Maybe they don't to you. So this could be the opposite of all this. Expressive at night. How others perceive you matters to you, and maybe it doesn't. Cancer, the fourth house. Maybe you're seeing 111 or 444. This is a replica of the base of consciousness or the center of our concrete existence. Nighttime, hard to sleep, don't want to go to sleep. Then you have 11, the 11th house, Aquarius. You might see 1111 on the phone, thus of the 111s. House of community gathering sessions, workshops, build, kick knowledge, debates, questioning, society / liberty. Friends, causes, social justice, and other events, functions that consist of assisting others in person. So you're happy about the mandate lifts. You felt like a lot of that was so gosh, perhaps. So you got the Four of Swords. Then you have the Eight of Swords. So hold on. And you got the Eight of Swords. See. Then you have Five of Cups in reverse. Or that's Five of Chalice, technically, using Egyptian tarot deck. Alright, so I would say with everything that you do have going on too, this looks like an angry person. Like, are you upset with how somebody done you? Restless. Like maybe your ancestors are invoking you to seek some kind of revenge, maybe. Hurt, or it's spirits that feel like for some reason you have what it takes, perhaps. Um, vigilance, that kind of thing. And then you have like how it looks like a person in some kind of confinement or solitude. You know, it's definitely, it's either you used to be or you felt like you were in a box, caged in. Maybe you have a prison record. It might be somewhere in there. You don't want to, confine yourself back to that. It's upright. You're not going back to that. It's upright. So It's more of others are invoking you to be something that you don't want to be, and you're seeing that, so you're going in a mode of, you know, retreat. Protection is over you, even though you have vengeful ancestors or vengeful spirits, or you feel it in the atmosphere, and you're ignoring it because obviously certain things are not your department. You know, obviously we tend to try and take on things more than what we can handle. The Aries understands that. This is why how others perceive you matters. Excuse me. Excuse me, Aries. So sorry. Lo siento. I'm not sorry. I apologize. So you just feel like, nah, this ain't it, or it's not the right time for all that. You know, let me go and think about it. The thinker. And then some of you don't care. You chose to let's go. So, however it resonates. So now you have the Eight of Swords, and you see the little croc there, and then you have the Eight. So I would very much say, you know, maybe you blame yourself for some things, perhaps due to why you are in a retreatful attribute, due to something you think you've done, which you didn't really do anything. It's just you're starting to realize, okay, this is how I gotta move now. So with the Eight of Swords, that, you know, going within, trying to make sure that you're not you're not censoring yourself from what you're supposed to do, or going against someone else. And then others, you don't care whether or not it's going against someone else, as long as it pleases you. So take it how it resonates. And then eight being a number of, like, my cherry earrings. Um, Metaverse. So perhaps the teeth of Sobek, the teeth of Sobek, look into that due to this. I want to also let you know, if you're feeling any discomfort, it's usually to choices that we chosen, and all you gotta do is regroup. That's what that retreat, that you know, restlessness, and someone wants you to be vengeful, but that's not who you are. You choose to look at a brighter side, and I get that. And then just the opposite, some of you saying, nah, bump that. So take out resonates. But you do have the five of chalice, the water card, and whatnot. You got to be very mindful of how you let your emotions out at this time. So let me look at this. The eye is definitely an occult. An occult protection. It's in reverse. Uh, occult protection. Cycle of seasons. You know, they got four, but it's 5 years, five. Natural order. I would very much say it sounds like maybe something you did, you went against it, and it's arisen certain people. Maybe they're reconsidering what you've done, like in a good way. Because again, you still have occult protection. Now, it being in reverse, you think that you're not in a good protectional realm, but change is good. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's bad either. And then some of you feel like, that it's not good. So I would say, being mindful that we have to ask certain people certain things before we can just do certain things. But, you know, what what the good spirits have for you is for you still. So there's some, you know, again with the retreat and the vigilance and restlessness, not necessarily of you. It maybe you have been restless due to not getting enough sleep of this thing, but it's not necessarily you. You know, we have the right to create and things like that. It's just others, that gotten the spiritual attribute of what you've done have invoked, and they basically, they're having counsel. You just can't see that or you don't know that, but that's what's being done. As above, so below. So, those things, when you did what you did, that's just what it is. Um, but at the same time, just remembering that, that's just an inner thing you need to do with self. And that discomfort made you feel like it was your fault, and it's not. Now, with this being in reverse, you would think you don't have occult protection, but you do. It's more of the, I always say the reverse is the feminine, the upright is masculine, but since they are saying now with all this propaganda that the roles have switched, it's really women that, believe wholeheartedly in what you have. And then there's some men like, nah. Or there's some men who like it. They're, in touch with their feminine side. And then there's women who don't like it. They're more masculine about things. You have your dilly and dally, and it's okay. It's just up to you. They would say, make sure we're so used to here standing on a square. It's time to think outside the box, but step out of the box. Step out the square to think outside the box is you know, my advice. I don't give legal advice. All that will be descriptions of all videos. This is really educational. So let's get into the moonology. Spirits, let me get a good affirmation of what to tell Aries, just as I done the I say amen. I don't know, y'all. A lot of you, don't be discouraged of what you've done. Just try to find a way to move through it. Reassert your power by learning from what is to come. And what is to come is not bad. It's just some people, obviously, it's not going to like it. And you have some who do. Embrace the change, embrace to those that like it. Try not to change yourself, and no legal advice. Just remember, read everything, ask questions. Don't be so eager to jump because of a it sounds or will come up. Ooh. Well, you got work through your fears, Scorpio. Those came out sloppily. Okay, this one is sideways. You and your loved ones are safe. Maybe that's what you feel indecisive about. And then that is a new moon in Cancer. And you have Cancer in reverse over there. Okay, your commitment is being tested, just like the Leo did prior to you. Um, let's see. Let's see what the love with it, so we can get a more descriptive. This is a very confusing energy. There's a lot of tug and pull here. A lot of tug and pull. Let's see. Ooh. I don't like how I did that. There's a lot of tug and pull here. What do you want me to say? Okay, well. Well, well, there is a I don't force cards to come out. So if it don't come out, then it just don't. And you got the butterfly. Dang. Okay. Well, that makes a little sense now. What's that top? Okay. Ooh. Well, Aries, you're very much a creator. I tell you that. You didn't care about what anybody said when you created this. Magician is at the bottom of the deck of the Egyptian Tarot. 1. So you started something. It's something new. Some people like it, some people don't. Now you have at the top 2 X's. So perhaps this is something involving relationships that you have. Definitely, they will say contracts. And this is the Judgment card that it's in reverse. Renewal. Um, hmm. Hmm. So I would say too, knowing what this is, you know, there will be no change in what you are doing. Somebody wants to change it, and there is no changes that are going to be admissible. You know, looks like the one with the scroll in their hand is the messenger, and you know how they pass it along. And, you know, it's a lot of that. Hey, look what this is. Did you see this? Oh, look at that. And then you have the magician again, where you created something. Look, there's a stork right here, little birdie. And basically, you are in a mode where somebody wants to deplete of it, but it's not going to get depleted. And that's what ticks off some people. Thus, of the five of chalice, some will say cups being in reverse. And then you have swords here. Swords is a replica of preparation, war and battle. They're upright. So winning the battle and the war is definitely in your favor. But there's a lot of people who's not going to like it. A lot that's not going to like it. So work through your fears. There's a new moon in Scorpio. Scorpio season is coming up too. And you have wedding rings in reverse with it. So with the Four of Swords, work through your fears, new moon in Scorpio, and you have the wedding rings. A lot of you don't want to be married. I would say follow your first mind. You shouldn't really be in a partnership, or you should try to focus on yourself and that healing. Or if you know you're going to need some backup, obviously a little help, yada yada, that's fine. But the unions you've started, maybe you fear that it's not going to work out, or perhaps you should put a little more faith in the unions that you do have and the people that claim that they do care. You know, they're very much going to be needed, or there's going to be new individuals. Yeah, union, wedding, married, soul connection, eternal love, everlasting promise. It's in reverse. I guess you feel, you know, due to working through that fear of, you know, the retreat or the vigilance of people trying to make you do something you don't want to do at the moment, but you have to make a decision, you know, kind of like sitting at the crossroad a bit. Working through your fears is something that you're going to have to do during the Scorpio season. You're going to do it. You are, you know, gradually doing it, but you'll find yourself doing it more often without fear in the Scorpio season. And it's gonna be a lot of people that is gonna want you, and you're gonna deny that due to, well, you should have been trying to, you know, invoke wanting to be with me, or unifying with me, or working with my whatever I'm doing. Those things that you would say. I wouldn't feel like that with everybody, you know, because perhaps it's there to get rid of the discernments that you've seen with the previous people that were partnerships or contracts, soul contracts, marriage, whatever, you know, that you have already have, you know, so don't shut down the new, or try to evaluate them a certain way. Ask for help for evaluating them. Um, you and your loved ones are safe. I look at this as upright defense mode. I used to play cards like Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, stuff like that. So I look at that as a defense mode, and that's a new moon in Cancer. And recall, you have Cancer here, Aries right here in reverse. A lot of you at night, you don't get any sleep, you're up at night, night owl, seeking owl, things like that. Owl might be significant to you. And it's due to, certain people have a mask. And a lot of these masks are going to be lifted due to what you've done. And a lot of people are not going to like that. This is why. But it is what it is. I mean, because you're trying to defend what you love, which is your family, friends. I mean, even the people you don't like, you realize what you've done is very important to keep going to do. It's gonna be difficult. Even people are gonna give you uh, tips, and you're gonna feel offended by some, and then some you're not. You're gonna take heed. Be very neutral. Again, especially with the meaning of Four Swords. Solitude, retreat, like you're going back into a mode of, dang, what if I don't know if I should have done that, blah blah blah. Work through those fears, but just be careful of the unions that you perform with those and the new ones that are to come, because with what you've done, it's actually through judgment. It can't be changed. They're not gonna change it, and a lot of people are gonna be upset with you, but at the same time, it's gonna be it's gonna be okay. You just, some things you gotta learn, be willing to learn, ask questions, and read everything. It's okay to ask individuals for help that are, first of all, professional. This is not legal advice. I don't know what you've done, but if it's legal, don't put me in that department. But I'm just saying that with what you've done, a lot of people are not gonna like it, but it's for a good cause. I see, and they're just not gonna overstand that. Finally being free, huh? That's what the aim is, I guess, for you. Aries, you care about, this is the house of self, but you went inward to the inner self because you are a house, you care about how others perceive you, and then some don't. Certain Aries are not the same like the other Aries. So whichever one you're, or you know how to turn off, turn on the when it should matter about caring about someone else and when it shouldn't. Or really not that you don't care or do, you just choose, you let them make their choice of how your response will be, some will say. Mm-mm-mm. Woo. Now with this Five of Chalice, and that's a water card, water, cup runneth over. Occult protection is what they will say that is in replica of. Cycle of seasons, natural order, all of that has been destroyed due to what you've done, I would say, or it's in the process of being torn down into something else that others are like, what? And your commitment is being tested with it. And right here in reverse, because you're still like, oh my gosh, what have I done? Not too many people are gonna like this, and they're not gonna like that. And the butterfly is with that. Reading Rainbow, read whatever is going to be presented to you. And yes, you have time to read it. You don't have to rush. whatever it is. Not any legal advice, but if it's in that field, then yeah. Um, the butterfly, a lot of you already know about the butterfly. Relationship evolving to the next phase, healing the inner child and growth. So with this process, you're healing your inner child and you're going to heal others, whether they like what you're doing or not. You know, the relationship of evolving to the next phase is, you're in the cocoon. You're going to be in the cocoon. So times you will see the butterfly soar, and this is what that is. You're trying to figure out how to work through those fears of what you've done. But what you've done is not necessarily a bad thing for a lot of people. They've been trying to figure out, a good way of, you know, getting truth. And that's what you presented. You're just a little afraid about how you done it because of you've been getting the vibe like what in the world? Oh Lord, is it because of what I did and said and you all that? Um, it's just not the time to be fearful now about what you've done. Judgment's already made. It's not going to change. And they look at you as a magical person. You started something new, started something over. And this is in reverse at the bottom. Step out your comfort zone. This is in the North Node. And then hold your vision is right here. A lot of people never got successful by not believing in themselves or what they've done and what they've created. So holding your vision is very important, Aries, when it comes to, some would say right knowledge you don't know, but that's the thing. Um, Stuff gets updated, and too many people want to go back to the old attributes of things, and they don't want to update anything. Updating things is what could help with truth and knowledge. So with the wedding rings and mask and the butterfly, at the bottom of the deck is clock. This is right with the Leo. Need time, takes time, in time, cycles, time to heal, processing. It's in reverse. So I would say, time is of the essence. We don't get a lot of that. We don't get our lives back. Some people believe in the past life thing, but obviously we can't go back there realistically. So some would say, yeah, but take it how it resonates. I'm not here to make you feel any other kind of way. Uh, the chaser is in reverse. Some of you are not chasing whatever it is that discovered or the people that discovered. They're chasing you. Codependent, some relationship fear of abandonment issues. These are people who are looking for a savior, and you're not their savior. You're just a creator giving them something else to think about so that they can be better citizens in society with what is to come, not necessarily to be their leader. Like you have your own little, your family, and that's who you lead, and you're trying to teach them that's what they do. And I'm Aries moon, so yeah, I get you. This is like what? So now we got your amendments. No legal advice, but let's go. Excuse me. Again, I don't force them to come out. I really don't. I think that's like, let's give it a nice shuffle. How about that? Then I'm gonna see. And it's important to know the amendments. So don't say, oh, it's dead. I'm like, no. Okay, you got the 17th. That's in defense mode. Side by sides. Well, that failed. So, 27. We can let them fall. Okay. All of them are in defense mode. Ooh, excuse me. I don't know, 17 again is a nice movie for some of y'all. But the 17th Amendment was with the Four of Swords, Work Through Your Fears, and Wedding Rings in reverse. Remember, excuse me, remember in 17 again, how Tia and Tamara were used, and it was an old couple, and the soap created a fountain of youth effect. It's some old elders, I feel, that don't want, or they have no choice but, or it could be like old souls and you're in a young body, or in the other way, and there's some things you're gonna have to teach this person. It's in defense mode again, like side like this. I don't give legal advice, but it says the United States Constitution gave the people the right to vote for their senators, um, instead of the state legislature. This is called direct election, where the people choose who is in office. The amendment also said that if a Senate seat is not filled, the governor can pick a new senator. Maybe that's what the talk is, you know, behind the scenes of this judgment thing. So you got the Eight of Swords with the you and your loved ones are safe. And that's in defense mode. With the mask, with the mask, with the mask being in reverse, some people are probably not going to be honest. Now I got a good understanding of who they are as they come to you. So be on guard because it's with this and this in defense mode. But see, that's why you are the way you are, Aries. So it says the United States Constitution granted citizenship to all persons born or naturalized in the United States and guaranteed all citizens equal protection of the laws, which included former slaves that were recently freed. So it goes back to that Eight of Swords with the alligator attribute. You know how Pharaoh pointed the finger. Some people have some really messed up views, like um, wanting to end certain people's lives because of their feelings. And it's like, hmm. So again, you know, with the Eight of Swords, inner crisis, a crisis, censorship, discomfort, and fault. You think a lot of this is your fault, but you know, you were chosen to do a certain thing, and that is to protect individuals. It's just a certain way, I guess, the process or whatever. You know, obviously you don't you don't want to be subjugated to what they're actually up to, or you have a vibe of what you know they're up to, and you're just you're gonna want things a certain way that are new. So with the 27th Amendment, the butterfly, relationship evolving to the next phase, healing the inner child and growth. So this is in, you know, defense mode with that. And that's the picture. It's like another tug and pull a lot. All of this defense moding. Cause you know, one side this, one side that. Yeah. The United States Constitution prohibits any law that increases or decreases the salary of members of Congress from taking effect until the start of the next set of terms of office for representatives. May 7th, it was ratified May 7th. The 14th was ratified July 28th, 1868. And the 17th was ratified April 8th, 1913. I don't know if that means anything to you. This has election day. Excuse me. Um, this has election day up here. The tug and pull of what to do, indecisiveness. Really not with you. This is why you're like, gosh, what did I do? But, you know, hold your vision right here. Because what you actually did that for, you know, regardless of how other people narrate it to be, you know, you gotta step out the comfort zone, and that's in reverse. But only when you feel compelled, not because when someone told you. You know what's best. You went this far. So in the spring, summer, it's gonna be a nice little time, I would say, for people to see what is to come. But a lot of people are still gonna be in disbelief. So the 25th Amendment is at the top. Excuse me. The 25th Amendment is at the top, and it has the White House right here. And it says the United States Constitution says that if the president becomes unable to do their job, vice president becomes the president. This can happen for just a little while if the president is just sick or disabled for a short time. February 10th, 1967, it was ratified. So maybe that means something to you. And then you have at the bottom the 21st Amendment, and this is about alcohol. The United States Constitution repealed the 18th Amendment to the United States Constitution, which had mandated nationwide prohibition on alcohol. This was ratified December 5th, 1933. It's in reverse though. So, I don't drink. Sorry, not sorry. If you get invited to any kind of parties, don't take any drinks. And you got chaser here. Chaser, those attributes of drinking. Look, no, don't depend on substances to keep you up. If you're tired, go home, go to sleep. Go to where you need to for rest. Reasonable timing while out. Trusting who you're with. Things like that. And time is of the essence. So you do need to understand, overstand, and understand there is a time for this. A time and place for everything. Certain things have its time and it's a place and, for everything. So it's not meant for you to rush because what's for you is going to be, it's already done. But you do need to do it in a timely fashion for the sake of others. And Aries, that's what I have for you. And, if you would like a more extended reading from it, you can book one or just another one. It's all at the bottom, description, everything. And I hope you have a good night, day, whichever one resonates with you. And I don't give legal advice, but, hopefully this helps. And again, I don't know if Aquarius is in your chart. A lot of us are rising Aquariuses, Cancer in your chart, Aries, or you're dealing with individuals when it comes to this content and how they feel, but it's not up to them. What God has for you is for you, no one else. And that's why you're in the mode you're in or the situation. Work through that fear and you'll gain what you need. And then a lot of people will thank you later for it. Take it how it resonates. Descriptions of all infos down below. I do not own the rights to these decks again, and these are just simple note cards from Quizlet.com/astrology, and then I, did my thing. All right, everyone, and you have a good evening, good night, good day, good morning, rising, however that will be for you. See you next time, Aries.